Hello, I'm back again with another review. This review is going to be on Bionicle, all Bionicle, not comics, not toys, not movies, just all Bionicle. And I'm gonna just review a lot of my favorite things of Bionicle and stuff. Now, if you don't know what Bionicle is, it is it started out as a Lego toy. Look it up. And if you go to any toy store or any store that sells any kind of toys, you'll find a Bionicle there, I'm sure. They were really popular back when I was really little. I was actually when the first set came out, I was in second grade, and I really it's how I met one of my best friends. He was sitting there at a table during free time, and I walked up to him, and he was reading a Bionicle comic, and I said, "Hey, what are you reading?" And he's like, "Bionicle." And I was like, "What is that?" And from then on, he told me exactly what it was. I started collecting the toys. I started loving everything about it. I thought it was a great set of whatever. And so I subscribed to Lego Magazine just to get these comic books, and I actually have quite a few of the older ones. And I had some from my friend Gage, and he moved, and I haven't talked to him for a while. But yeah, and I started collecting all the toys, and I went nuts for it. It was my absolute favorite thing at that time. That's all I talked about. That's all I collected. That's all I did. I just loved Bionicle so much. I read the comic books and knew the story, and then the movie came out, Mask of Light, Bionicle Mask of Light, the movie, and I really enjoyed that growing up, and I absolutely just loved this series. And now I'm older, and I'm reviewing this, and what brought this up, I think I found some of my older Bionicle toys. I lost a lot of them. I used to have a bunch. I lost so many of them. But I found some, and they were my favorite ones anyways, so I didn't really care. But basically what the story of Bionicle is about these six creatures, quote unquote, that crash on an island in like a pod thing. It looks kind of like the containers you get them in. And they crashed, and they came on this island. And the island was called Mata Nui. And they go around and they collect the different masks to be more powerful, basically. And they each have their own special ability. Toatahu, the red one, he has like the power of shielding, I think, and he's like the fire one. Toaliwa, which is my favorite, he's the green one, and he has the power of air. Toagali is the only girl in the team, and she has the power of breathing underwater, I think, but she's water, basically. And Toa Kopaka, the white one, that was the first toy I ever got, the first Bionicle toy I ever got. He has the power of like different visions, so he can see different things, and he has like ice. And they all live in different parts of the island. They all live that kind of relate to him. Toa Anua is the black one, and he has like the power of earth or something like that. One of them does. And then the brown one, I don't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember it. Yeah, I can't find it. But he was pretty cool. I just don't remember him for some reason. And he had like the power of rock or something. And they basically go around searching for these masks to be more powerful. And they just run into different sagas, kind of like DBZ. They just keep running into different types of enemies. And basically the backstory before them was that there was a Toa, basically. I think he was a Toa. He was like a god, basically. His name was Matanui. And his brother God, why can't I think of his name? What is it? It is Makuta. He's like the dark, the mask of shadow or whatever, and he put his brother into sleep. So basically, they're trying to awaken Matanui, and Makuta is unleashing these different types of enemies, and they run into Bulrock. Bulrock's was my favorite. I can't remember what the other ones were. There was a Rockshi and stuff like that, and and then they eventually form into the Toa Nuva, which made them more powerful, and they had different designs and everything, and they looked cooler. And I thought that was cool too. And then after they did that, they what did they do? They found a mask of light, and one of the Matoran, which are like basically the humans of the island. One of them finds the mask, and they have to try and find basically the story is in the movie, and I can't really, I don't know the names to a lot because they're hard to pronounce and stuff, and I used to remember them, but I don't as much anymore. But basically he becomes the seventh Toa, and he becomes the Toa of light, and he's the one that basically is like the strongest, and he hurts basically Makuta's enemies the best. And then it kind of goes into another story of what happened to the Matoran and where they came from, and it kind of goes back before these Toa, and there was a different Toa, and by that time, I kind of stopped reading it. I read a lot about the next Toa on Mertru Nui, where it was originated, and then after that, I kind of just stopped. But I really enjoyed the series though going on, and I loved getting the toys with the books and everything, and I used to go over to my friend's house and we'd play Bionicle all the time. But this is just a really great story, I thought, and I loved it. And so then once I got back into it, I kind of looked up if they ever had these in kind of like a trade, like where you could get them all together, and they actually do. They have them almost at any Barnes & Noble. It's called Bionicle #1, Rise of the Toa Nuva. And it has like the first issues that I used to have growing up. And they're just as great as I can remember, like as I remember them. And I'm really happy I got this. So if I really, really recommend you at least take a look into it and look up the story. I know probably people watching this don't really want to play toys, but the toys are pretty cool. They're cool to collect. But the comics, my suggestion is to get this. I only got it for $7.95. It was really cheap, and it has the first few issues, and I think it's the most interesting kids comic ever. Because it was intended for kids, and the comics really intended just for marketing to buy the toys, but they actually were better than the toys for a while. And the new stuff, I kind of found a new one, and they're not good anymore. So I don't suggest buying new comics or anything. That doesn't work. And I don't suggest buying the new toys because they're not as good. But if you want to get into this, I suggest getting just this first graphic novel, and I would read it because it's amazing. And I really, really suggest this to people. I know some people who don't know it that watch this, and you should at least give it a try, and maybe get like the first issue if you can find it off Amazon or something. They have this you can buy off Amazon too, if you really need to, but it's more with shipping. So that's really it for Bionicle. I love it. I suggest you read it. A good childhood memory.